Right now, video game adaptations are everywhere, from prestige TV to blockbuster releases. It feels like every successful game is being lined up for a jump to the screen. As with many great successes, one great product is never enough. Instead of getting a sequel to Baldur's Gate 3, we're getting a TV series, a curious choice considering the nature of a role-playing game, and understandably, this announcement has been met with a mixed reception. Baldur's Gate 3 did something rare. It pulled casual players into a more niche corner of the RPG genre, and I count myself among them. At its very core, Baldur's Gate relies on a player's input to drive the narrative. So all this got me wondering about the thought process behind this decision and how it could work. Can Baldur's Gate survive when the dice are taken out of the player's hands? Hi, I'm Rory, welcome to Raw Film and TV, where we unpack all the weird and wonderful nonsense in TV and film. Let's get into it. When Larian Studios released Baldur's Gate 3 in August 2023, it quickly became a smash hit amongst RPG fans. What surprised everyone, though, was how many more casual gamers it would pull in. Truthfully, I did not pick it up until 8 months after launch. Turn-based RPGs had never really clicked for me. I was more of a fan of The Witcher or Mass Effect games, still choice-driven narratives, but more immediately accessible. Eventually, I saw Baldur's Gate 3 on sale and decided to give it a go. 2 months later, I was completely absorbed. Not just by the world of Faerun, but by the companions. I hold Mass Effect in very high regard when it comes to squad mates. Whilst Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have the same level of camaraderie in your party, the depth and nuance of its companions exceeds most, if not all. Okay, not you, Garrus. Every player has their favourites, characters they leave behind at camp, and ones they want to take the clothes off of. No, Halson, won't have a threesome with you. That connection is driven by the marriage of strong writing and remarkable performance capture. Every character is so unique and important in their own way, but at the same time, it is up to the player how much they want to interact with them. They are so reactive. And speaking of reactive, Larian has set a new standard for developers when it comes to actively patching your game, releasing new, free content, all whilst maintaining a great rapport with the community. The fact that they are happy for people to actively mod the game to the point where new stories can be told is frankly astonishing. Baldur's Gate 3 excelled because it trusted the player with the story. A TV series, by its very nature, has to take that trust and decide which version of the story gets told. An immediate sticking point for a lot of people is that Larian Studios are not involved in the production as of time of recording, a huge loss for the show. No one knows Baldur's Gate 3 better than the team that built it. That said, the series is being helmed by Craig Mazin, who by all accounts is a fan of Baldur's Gate 3 and more broadly Dungeons and Dragons. His filmography is patchy, but when he gets it right, like Chernobyl and season 1 of The Last of Us, it shows he understands character, consequence, and adaptation. All that aside, deciding what is canon and what is not is undoubtedly the most controversial part of adapting video games for TV and film. We've seen this friction before in the Fallout TV series, where some fans struggled with how the show's timeline reshaped the one from the games. I can see why this bothers people. If you know a story to be canon, it feels wrong to see a different version. Baldur's Gate 3 complicates this further by positioning the show as a sequel. That means definitive endings, not just for the main plot, but for the side stories and companion arcs too. Larry even published stats on player choices, from major story branches to things like petting Scratch or sleeping with the Emperor. Funny, sure, but it quietly proved the wide variety of player decisions. There isn't enough data for the writers to commit to one most popular idea per decision, and that's the thing, they're going to have to commit. The worst thing they can do is skirt around all the important decisions made in the game. Honestly, for me, canonizing the ending isn't a problem. I just think of it as watching another playthrough. Most of us already live with multiple versions of Baldur's Gate spread across multiple timelines. Whatever decisions the showrunners make, it will be just like one more run through the story. The real question is whether that story can work when you're watching it, rather than playing it. To start with, I really enjoyed Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, and I'm genuinely disappointed it's unlikely we'll get a sequel. I've never played D&D, so can't speak to how well it captured the vibe of a session, but as a film, it worked. Like Baldur's Gate, it tells a strong story and gives each of its characters moments to shine. But crucially, I never heard an audience complain about not being able to control what was happening. That's very reassuring if you're worried about the TV show deciding outcomes for us. Part of me wonders if the timing hurt the film. Had it released closer to the boom of Baldur's Gate 3, maybe it would have found a bigger audience. A success across mediums isn't uncommon. When Fallout released in 2024, the player base across the games spiked. The question for the sequel show is whether the reverse can work. several years since the game launched. For most players, the core of this game is about the friends you make along the way, each one with a soul so unique, ripe for us to fix or destroy should we choose. Now, I'm not a diehard when it comes to consistency in TV and films, but should they recast any of the companions, I have to admit, I will be disappointed. Whilst I prefer some to others, they all have such a special place in my camp. The actors themselves bring so much to the roles. When you listen to them discussing their characters, you can hear the passion and how they discovered their personalities. It's hard to imagine anyone stepping in and capturing the same depth. That aside, the main six have gone on to become quite famous, making endless appearances at various events, cementing their synonymous relationship with Baldur's Gate 3. Close your eyes. When you picture Baldur's Gate 3, what do you see? Mind flayers, the Underdark, Raphael, sure. But I think for a lot of us, the first thing that comes to our mind is our companions. At its heart, it's a found family story, a group of misfits thrown together by circumstance who learn to trust each other as they try to defeat evil and stop the end of the world. You love them, you get angry with them, and you laugh at them. Television understands this formula better than most. From Community and New Girl to The Mandalorian and The Bear, so many great shows are built on the same idea. Found family works because the audience invests in the characters and the relationships, not just the outcomes. What makes this Baldur's Gate sequel different is that we're starting when the family has already been found. Relationships have been formed, wounds have been healed, arcs have been completed, the city has been saved. Rather than being a limitation, I see this as an opportunity. Dungeons & Dragons has always been about new campaigns built on old bonds. If the show can honour what came before whilst exploring a new, compelling story, it might just work. In the short time I've been making videos on this channel, I've touched on legacy and old IPs quite a lot. It sometimes feels inescapable, but when it's done right, when past characters and stories are honoured with care, it can lead to something genuinely worthwhile. Top Gun Maverick proved that. There's plenty to be skeptical about this Baldur's Gate 3 TV sequel. Not everyone will share my feelings on canonising decisions, and I, along with most, will be disappointed if the original voice actors don't return. But for me, setting one foot into this world with the other stepping forward into a new adventure will be worth it, even if it means we don't get to roll the dice this time. Anyway, that's all from me today. What are your thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3 getting a sequel on TV? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Go well.